I'm Cole.
Hey, I'm James. How's it going?
I'm Carter.
With
Carter's
a mouthful of
eating
peanut butter
fucking again.
for that goddamn protein.
And we are Citizen Kane 2, a podcast where a bunch of pretentious film students talk about movies. Pictures of their balls.
Did you say you've seen pictures of my balls?
Yeah.
Well, I've seen pictures of Carter's balls.
I've seen pictures of both of y'all's balls.
Have we shown you our... Okay, all right.
I've shown you mine?
Y'all sent it in the group chat that I was in. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who had bigger nuts?
From my memory, I think James.
Yeah.
James's were pretty baboony.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So we are going to open up this podcast today. We're doing an Oscar podcast for some godforsaken reason.
Yeah,
So
we suck.
we really do suck, and we're going to try to make this as interesting as possible. And if you made it past the past 3 podcasts, I think we might be doing something right.
I think we got you.
But we appreciate it. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day out there.
Yeah, we love you.
I love you so much. What? Okay. Well, anyways.
All right, James, we're going to start with 2021.
2021.
All right, so the way this is going to work is James is going to read off the Best Picture nominations, and we're going to talk about which movie we think should have won.
And we'll try to not make it as boring and drawn out as possible. We'll try to be somewhat interesting about it, and we're going to see how far that we can get within like an hour to an hour and a half range.
Yeah, we're not going to make another hour and a half plus one.
I'll join in again once I finish eating my crackers.
He sounded like a pirate after that. My crackers.
My peanut butter crackers.
What's I done with me crackers?
Yarg. Okay. 2021, we have West Side Story, Steven Spielberg, Power of the Dog, Jane Campion, Nightmare Alley, Guillermo del Toro, Licorice Pizza, Paul Thomas Anderson, King Richard, I'm not sure, Dune by Denis Villeneuve, Drive My Car, what?
Said his name right, motherfucker.
I did say his name right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Drive My Car by Rizuke Hamaguchi. I didn't say that one right, but I love him so much. Don't Look Up. Can you play the worst noise ever for Don't Look Up? Yeah, what an embarrassment. Lastly, Belfast by Kenneth Branagh and Coda. Why does fucking Wikipedia have the producer's name? Who cares about the producer's name? I'm sorry.
What was the winner?
Coda was the winner.
Coda was the winner. Right.
I saw that movie 4 times in theaters. No, not 4 times in theaters. Sorry.
Okay. Do you guys have a favorite from 2021?
I almost don't.
All right. Well, you're wrong because Drive My Car Supremacy Forever. That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I still haven't seen Drive.
It's a perfect 10.
I agree with you, James.
Hamaguchi just has magic every time he touches something. Asako 1 and 2, Happy Hour, which is 5 hours long. That's the one I haven't seen. And then Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy. That's just fucking awesome.
See, I haven't seen Drive My Car.
Why can't you expand that? Oh, no. It's okay.
And out of all those movies
know.
that I have seen, Coda was my favorite.
Coda is...
I do love Dune.
I would maybe just...
Dude, what is going on?
I don't know what's
here,
going on
man?
with this computer, honestly. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
That's the way it should be.
Look, so...
Fuck.
Coda, I guess... I would just say really quickly, Coda was the one that won in 2021. No one fucking knows it won in 2021 because of Will Smith and Chris Rock fiasco.
Right.
Overshadowed, and I'm still kind of annoyed at that. Plus, the Oscars are all for show now, and I think we would agree with that as well.
The new format thing they tried is rough.
Also, Amy Schumer is fucking
Fuck Amy
not
Schumer.
funny.
Yeah.
She's not funny.
What really pissed me off about it is that Carter and I had this really kind of incredible experience with Drive My Car.
Oh my God.
And it was one of the most meaningful things that I've seen probably just in my entire life. And so Hamaguchi gets nominated in the Best Picture category of 2021 and the Best Foreign Film, which is just kind of silly in a lot of regards.
Who won Best Foreign Film? Was it?
It was Drive My Car.
It was Drive My Car.
However,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
in order for Amy Schumer to have her one scene of being Spider-Man and dropping from the ceiling we cut down the best foreign film, also best film in basically the world, to less than 45 seconds for Hamaguchi to speak.
Yeah, that was
And
criminal.
that was bullshit, and I was so pissed off about that. But Drive My Car rules. So
Yeah, Coda won Best Picture, and I love Coda. Once again, I saw it 4 times. And it made me feel, it made me feel so much. And it gave me a new perspective on the deaf community, honestly. And they handled that in a very beautiful way. However, Best Picture is supposed to be a culmination of everything in film.
right.
And Coda handled the emotion great, but I mean, you can't argue with the fact that the script was very formulaic.
Yes.
It didn't fail at making you feel, but still was very formulaic. The cinematography wasn't great. The supporting characters, their acting wasn't as good as the central characters.
I think we would have looked at this film a lot differently if we didn't have one of our best friends who is deaf, and just to kind of
I agree.
have that theater experience with her, and to have, it was a beautiful moment. And honestly, if I didn't know her specifically, I wouldn't have liked that movie quite as much. I do think underrepresented communities in film really important, and it did have an emotional toll on me. But at the same time, just watching her and how excited it made her. The same with The Sound of Metal. So, but we'll get
the
into
whole
that.
reason I watched that movie is because Deli talked to me about it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
love you, Deli.
Yeah,
we love you.
Love you, Deli. So, what you were saying? Who was your favorite pick out of this bunch?
Drive My Car as well.
Drive My Car,
Better
hell yeah.
than all of the other nominations. It was
Kind of knocks it out of the water.
It was a pure culmination of the cinematic elements. Cinematography, great. Script, great. Acting, great.
Simplicity, great.
Yeah. Very meaningful too. It was slow. It was very methodical. It felt almost dreamy. Like
It's adapted from a short story by Haruki Murakami called Men Without Women, or Men Without Women is the book. It's an incredible book, just as powerful as Drive My Car is. But what Hamaguchi was able to do with that limited short story, which is upwards of like 25, 30 pages, turn it into a seamlessly 3-hour-long movie. But the kind of crazy thing about it is you're not thinking about the fact that it's 3 hours long.
I had no idea it was 3
I didn't
hours
care,
when I saw
and
it.
I didn't go to the bathroom one time.
I was in a trance.
Yeah,
while watching
and honestly, it's perfect 10 in my book. So
Yeah, I
Cole,
agree.
what do you think? 2021.
So I don't feel like I'm entitled to opinion.
Just, I mean, out of any of those, I mean, Dune might be my second favorite, actually.
I can talk about the movies I like. The thing is, I haven't seen Drive My Car, and I'm not as in love with any of the other movies to make like a. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you got to vote on one.
If I had to vote on one, probably Dune, in terms of quality filmmaking and also something I enjoyed. I will say I really like a lot of the topics that are covered in Power of the Dog, but there is like a few glaring flaws for me as a film that I just it's not a best picture movie.
Yeah, and if you remember, that was the one that was highly favored to win Best Picture, and Coda was just out of the fucking blue.
Yeah,
so.
the last month of
it
like
won
the race.
all the awards at the festivals.
Yeah.
It just killed it, and I also love Coda.
And you had like Camp Scorsese rooting for Power of the Dog. You had pretty much every prominent filmmaker. I watched it and I just straight up, I don't think I liked it. I maybe just missed the entire point of it, but
it has some topics in it that are really near and dear to my heart, and I think it does an all right job covering it. I think it does a really good job covering it. The ending has a really big payoff for me, but there's like literal glaring problems with it from a filmmaking perspective.
yeah, there's not much of a character arc in some of the people.
Particularly
Kristen Dunst.
We spend way too much time on a character that is not dynamic.
She doesn't blossom in any
Well,
way.
you know,
She's
I mean,
just,
there are static characters, but
Yeah.
there are static characters that are done well, and then ones that aren't.
And there's also, it's okay if it's static character, but like we keep getting away from the thing that's moving the plot forward to spend time on a character, and it's like, hey, guess what? She's still drinking a lot, and that's all we really gain from it. Besides one little plot device that she kind of pushes forward, and also the score is fucking awful.
Okay. We are quickly moving along. Let me make sure. What the hell is going on
Dude,
with this?
it was fine earlier, and then you messed it up.
All right. We're going back to the year 2020. Excuse me. So COVID year of movies. This is one of my least favorite years, honestly, and they're going to disagree with me, even though I love the movie The Father. I'm going to list it off from the bottom. I haven't seen some of these, but Trial of Chicago 7, Sound of Metal, Promising Young Woman, Minari, Mank, Judas and the Black Messiah, and The Father, and then the winner was Nomadland.
Yeah.
And before you guys wank off over The Father, great movie. Nomadland is also great. I would have to say my favorite out of this bunch is The Sound of Metal.
So I'm gonna. I think I like a lot of the movies that y'all don't dislike from this year.
I thought it was a great year.
Minari's great. Sound of Metal's great. I also like Trial of the Chicago 7, even though some of the casting's really odd. I know. Also, I really like Aaron Sorkin's writing, just in general.
Aaron Sorkin needs to stick to writing. He shouldn't be a director.
I absolutely agree with that.
I don't disagree with that. The script is my favorite part of the movie, and his films usually resonate a lot more when they get someone else to direct them.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that he did write it. It is a super, super, super important story, and I'm glad that someone put a film to it, and a film that had enough. I'm not in love with the casting, but the cast serves a purpose of getting forcing people who are fans of these
We're
actors.
talking about the Trial of Chicago 7, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why.
Nuts. That's
What?
The trial of these nuts. That's what's going on here.
Yeah,
I mean, the Trial of Chicago 7 is a very important historical event that happens in the United States. And I mean, we're talking about a trial where it's a very high publicity trial, and they federal agents have the one black man that's being tried, literally
It's
up and
kind of
chained
weird
and
that that's the
gagged.
one that you saw. I feel like no one saw that movie.
Yeah. Me and my grandfather are big Sorkin fans, and we watch every Sorkin thing together. Mainly because we love the West Wing like so fucking much.
There's a couple of things on here that I just don't think are good. Judas and the Black Messiah, I did not like.
Not.
Mank,
I
didn't like.
I didn't like Mank either.
Promising Young Woman, didn't like.
I didn't see it.
I had an experience watching Judas and the Black Messiah.
Okay. Okay.
So you could imagine.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Whatever. So yeah, Nomadland 1. Do we feel like that's fair?
No. Oh my God, no. The Father's one of the best movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Chloe Zhao also got Best Director. That also should have went to the director of The Father, in my opinion.
That's fine.
I don't think there's very few movies that have moved me in such a way, and it's such a topic that I think is really important and has affected my life personally. And
The Father is directed by Florian Zeller, right?
Yeah.
That was adapted from a play.
A Broadway play.
And she's making The Son as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. That comes out this year, doesn't it?
Are we going to trauma bond over that as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cole, Carter, and I do this little bit after we watch The Father, where we all pretend to be Anthony Hopkins in a very confused way.
Yeah.
And so, what are you doing in my flat?
What are you doing? That's a nice watch you got there.
Do you have the receipt for it?
Did you buy it, or was it a gift?
And we watch it with our tiny friend Deli, and so we call
my
her
fiance.
We call her Little Deli. Little Deli.
It's an excellent movie. If you are listening to this and you haven't seen it, get some people that you love with you and
just
watch
cry
it.
with them.
And cry with them and watch it.
Best way to watch it.
It's
Well,
amazing.
okay,
do
real
not
quick.
watch it by yourself.
What is the worst movie on this list?
The Trial of Chicago. Oh no! Sorry, Promising Young Woman.
Promising Young
what are we
Woman,
talking
yeah, I
about?
agree.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Promising Young Woman.
it's a bad movie.
My least favorite
because-
that I've seen on that list is Mank.
I kind of went on a date and watched Promising Young Woman, and I just felt like a scumbag after that. And Carter is gonna fucking hate me for this one. The content of Promising Young Woman, sure, maybe, whatever. I think Men does hell of a lot better job kind of exploring how horrific men can be than Promising Young Woman did.
I think Enemy does it better than that.
That's a fair assumption, but do we want to go to 2019?
Well, anyways, first, my top 3 of, at least in that list right there,
yeah.
is The Father that should have won, followed by Minari and Nomadland.
See, Minari, maybe I suck, but that was
You do.
kind of an overhype for me.
It wasn't hyped for me at all.
Yeah, well, I was just maybe anticipating a little bit too hard, and Steven Yeun is great. Everybody that is in that movie is great, but it didn't like strike this chord that something like Sound of Metal or The Father did to me.
Also, last episode we talked about Nope, and didn't even mention Steven Yeun.
Oh yeah, that guy's a killer.
God.
Yeah,
Fucking
he's amazing.
Kills. That guy kills.
He made The Walking Dead like absolutely incredible for what it was.
That guy kills. And it's one of those things where you just can't help but feel like. I mean, I feel like the only reason we're not seeing him in everything is because like Asian Americans in general are way undercast.
I
phenomenal.
personally think that 2019 is a hell of a lot better of a year for film.
I agree.
So we have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the 9th Quentin Tarantino movie.
One of his best.
Probably my favorite, aside from Death Proof. 1917 by Sam Mendes and Roger Deakins, which actually gets a lot of flack. But
Cole hated that comment about Death Proof.
That's fine.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm not.
I didn't catch it at all. Actually,
I just said it's one of my favorite Tarantino movies.
yeah,
I agree.
it's not one of mine.
No, I know that's completely fine. Marriage Story, which is a tip for me, but Little Women, which is one of the movies.
Oh, you didn't like that one?
It's not that I didn't like it. It's just it's Little Women. It's been done it's my favorite adaptation of Little Women. Sure.
See, I hadn't seen Little Women before. That was the first adaptation I've seen.
Yeah,
it was the second adaptation I've seen, and I did like it more than.
Yeah, I mean it's good. Is it the best? I don't know.
No, no. I get it.
Yeah.
It's good, but not a Best Picture winner.
Yeah, I agree.
That.
Joker, controversial. I love it.
Fucking great.
Jojo Rabbit,
fucking awesome.
The Irishman,
yeah, great.
Fucking awesome. Ford versus Ferrari, and I never saw it.
Hey. You haven't seen
It's
Ford
pretty
versus
good.
Ferrari?
It's pretty good.
It's fucking amazing.
It's fucking good.
No, seriously, the cinematography is insane, and Christian Bale puts on a performance that
one of his best.
I did not want to watch that movie at all, and it's one of those movies where my
Me too.
grandfather,
That's
who's
how
a
I
total cinephile,
My stepdad likes it a lot.
he watched it and he said, "No, you need to see this. This is probably the." Which, to be fair, I've seen a lot of racing movies because he was really into Formula One when he was younger. And he goes, "This is the best racing movie ever made, hands down, not a question." And it is. It's fucking great.
I like to make an apology because I'm pretty sure you could just hear me chewing in the mic. So
well, don't be a slut about it. Okay. And then the last but not least, the Best Picture winner was Parasite, which
is great.
Is a great movie. Not my favorite Bong Joon-ho
It's not.
movie.
No.
However,
Memories of Murder for the win.
I gotta say, this is kind of a really, really tough one to pick your favorite.
Yeah.
In a weird way. Just because World War II or World War I movies are hardly ever made.
Yeah.
Is anyone else super excited about
All Quiet on the Western Front? Yeah, absolutely. I like 1917 the best, probably just for the simple fact that it was
Roger Deakins.
Well, it was Roger Deakins, and it's not that Roger Deakins did anything in this movie that he didn't already do in something like Jarhead.
Yeah,
but he executes it in an amazing way. Obviously, and then the seemingly entire thing looking like it's just in one shot is great.
I don't think I've done it to y'all because y'all are y'all would catch on to what's happening. But at one point, I made a list of movies that cinematographers had done.
Yeah,
and it was like cinematographer A, B, C, D, and E.
Yeah,
right. And it was just a list of the movies, and I showed it to some of the people in the equipment office, and I was like, okay, which one of these lists do you think is the best director? I mean, best cinematographer, if you just based on this list of movies. And everyone picked A and B, which is funny because A and B were both Roger Deakins.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so Roger Deakins and Sam Mendes had done Revolutionary Road with Leo DiCaprio and maybe, I think, one other, and I think they're working on a film now. But 1917 is just a story about, I think, Sam Mendes' grandpa or great-grandpa. So it's not this incredibly politically motivated war film.
Mm-hmm.
It's all taking place in one day, which is pretty impressive. And I honestly am on the camp of like, fuck Quentin Tarantino. That might be my favorite movie that he's ever made, but no, I don't want that. I wouldn't have been mad if Jojo Rabbit won. It would have been a weird flex for Taika Waititi to play Adolf Hitler and everything. Yeah. Wonderful movie. I don't like ScarJo either. But
what? Even in Her?
No, I don't like Scarlett Johansson at all. I wish
not in
that
her.
no, I wish that
Well,
she would have
not Lost
been.
in Translation.
I still don't like her. I mean, those are my two favorite movies that she's been in, but I wish that somebody else would have replaced her.
These are two movies that I hear you jack off on a significant.
No, I do.
Basis.
I definitely wank off on that. But, anyways,
Do you
overall,
not like? Never mind.
okay. Well, I'm sorry. I've offended. I know that's a controversial take. She kind of sucks, but
Yeah, I get it.
yeah, I wasn't mad that Parasite won.
Well-
And at the time, I couldn't make myself sit through The Irishman. I watched it recently.
Yeah, it's great.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That's a really hard year for me, and I gotta say, and it's probably a very controversial take. The movie I'm most likely to revisit out of that group of movies is probably Jojo Rabbit. But also I think I like comedy a little bit more than y'all.
Yeah, that's true.
This is true.
And I just think it does. I love when comedy can tell a story that's bigger than the laughs.
Can we
And it does
just
a good
all
job.
do a favor and just say Joker is a really well-made movie? Can we all come to grips on
I
that?
agree. Yeah,
It's fucking awesome.
It's really well made.
It's
Okay,
awesome.
good.
And also, Joaquin Phoenix just fucking
Mm-hmm.
And Todd Phillips
kills.
Oh my god, man! Todd Phillips is a monster.
Oh,
but
I can't talk about the Joker. Okay, y'all have heard me talk about this every now and then. There's like films that my YouTube just know. There's scenes from movies that my YouTube just knows I want to watch, and like every other month or so, I'll watch just like one scene.
Mm-hmm.
And Joker has one of those scenes, and it's the bathroom scene.
Oh, yeah.
When he's smoking
everybody
the
loves that
cigarette and
scene, yeah.
dancing, fucking just amazing.
who was the DP for Joker? I forgot. It wasn't Hoyt van Hoytema, was it?
I don't know.
Shit.
Yeah, I don't know either. It was great though.
The
Great
score is
cinematography.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I mean,
It won. I think it won best score. Best original.
I believe it
score.
did too.
Yeah.
If you relate it to like Todd Phillips taking inspiration for something like Taxi Driver,
All right,
the-
yeah. Let's talk about this. For
well,
a second.
yeah, you
Here he
know,
goes.
let's do this because if I mean, one of the greatest filmmakers ever live, Ingmar Bergman says, if you see something you like, steal it.
I agree.
But this, I mean, for some scenes specifically, it's like an exact recreation of Taxi Driver, and it's in my book, it's more of an homage. I think Carter disagrees.
I only disagree. I get what you're saying. And we've talked about this a few times. But
Indeed, we have.
I think I've developed more of my thoughts, and I'm able to say more of what I mean now. Because like in The Conjuring 3, they replicate a shot from The Exorcist. Yeah, that's homage. You know. And there's certain other films do that all the time. And I agree with Ingmar Bergman. If you like something, steal it and repurpose it for your own work. You know, he does that all the time. The best filmmakers do that. All artists do that.
Yeah.
My problem with Joker is not that it has so many like shots that are similar and stuff. It's that if you watch Taxi Driver and then watch Joker, it's not only is it filmed similarly,
Totally.
it's the exact same film. Just one movie has the Joker and one character has Robert De Niro. It's the exact same plot, story beat for story beat. There's no difference.
Well, your plot point one, your plot
And
point two.
that's my problem.
You know,
That's my only
Scorsese
problem
was in
with it.
talks to direct Joker as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
which is kind of interesting. But
I still think it's a great film.
I think it's very Todd Phillips, and I think Scorsese would probably take it as a compliment.
No, and I think he did.
I think he did. I think he liked it.
And I think here's the thing. I think you're both coming. Neither one of y'all are wrong. You're both right. But the film is almost like a recreation of Taxi Driver in this modern superhero era. And that's not a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, it's not. It's the same problem that I have with Ingmar Bergman's Winter Light and Paul Schrader's First Reformed. I love First Reformed, but if you ever watch Winter Light, you'll realize that First Reformed is, for the most part, up until the end, copy and paste Winter Light. There is zero difference except for like a dream like sequence. That's the only difference.
There's
it's the exact same movie.
Yeah, and there's
and like
not to mention Kurosawa every time we.
You should. Why not? I have yet to mention Stanley Kubrick as much as I could have.
Yeah,
so.
that's
Big ups on me.
Yeah, props to you. But like Kurosawa is like infamously the guy that people rip.
George Lucas.
A
lot of America's Western films.
Yeah, Francis Ford Coppola.
Tarantino has ripped all of Kurosawa's shit.
Tarantino, a lot of people. I mean, there's so many big franchises that have been, loosely based or directly based, or like Fistful of Dollars is pretty much exactly Yojimbo.
Sergio Leone.
Yeah, is pretty much exactly Yojimbo, just in a Western
Interesting. I've
setting.
never heard that.
Instead of it is 100%.
No,
He,
I believe
he
that.
admittedly, like, or The Magnificent Seven is one of the biggest blockbusters of
that's a Kurosawa.
of the 70s. The Seven Samurai, but also nothing's really original. It's all adaptations.
No, yeah,
it's all
that's very
stripping and
true.
pulling.
That's true. I lose respect for a filmmaker because okay, look, you know what's not hard to do at all? Watch Taxi Driver and then write the same script but change the characters' names and change where it's set. That's not hard to do.
I
But
think
what's
it
hard
is though.
But I think
mean,
what's hard to do is then filming it as expertly as they do.
With
Yes.
Joker, that is the case. Yes.
But then I get what you're saying. It is a slippery slope.
It's not hard to write that movie though.
Yeah.
To film it, that's a different story. But to
So-
write that movie, it's not hard.
I think we're all not upset that Parasite won Best Picture that year. Is
mean-
there like a number one that y'all would have chose?
I'm not upset, but I do think the film is overrated, personally.
It's not his best film, but it's also, we're going to get to this when we get to Del Toro, where it's like the Academy is fucking over a foreign director for so many years.
It was an important win for foreign films,
Yeah.
and also the discussion of classism in society.
Yes.
It was important to be made.
I'm not upset that it won, and I like a lot of the movies that came out that year.
What's your least favorite movie on this list?
Whoa.
You have to give it to me again.
Parasite, Ford vs. Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Little Women for me, sorry, but
Marriage Story,
Marriage
100%.
Story.
It's not even close.
Marriage,
no. Little Women is my favorite. Sorry, I misheard the question.
No.
No, we're talking about the one our least favorite.
favorite. Mine's probably
Yeah,
Marriage
yeah.
Story, even though I like
Little Women
I
is
don't
my
hate
favorite.
necessarily as much.
I misunderstood the question.
That's a really good year.
Yeah, it was a good year. Let me get to a shitty year, 2018.
Dude, I had no idea Black Panther was nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, honestly. Okay, so we have Vice, which is an Adam McKay movie, which
Is good.
is actually really
It's
good.
really fun. Wait. I want to point out,
Christian Bale.
Don't Look Up is the exception. Adam McKay in general
Oh yeah, he did
makes-
Succession.
makes very good movies. He also did The Big Short, which is
Yes.
fucking amazing.
Okay, yeah, but he should be penalized for Don't Look Up
No,
for sure.
Don't Look Up's terrible. But also, I want to point out, Don't Look Up was written before COVID, and I think would have hit from a completely different perspective if it was made
Yeah,
before COVID.
if you didn't have a bunch of privileged assholes yelling at you for the entire movie.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Vice by Adam McKay. A Star Is Born by Bradley Cooper, right? Didn't he direct that? I think he did.
Did he?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Roma by Alfonso Cuarón.
Wow.
The Favorite. I don't remember. That was Yorgos Lanthimos. No, maybe. I'm not even going to try to pull this out of my ass. Bohemian Rhapsody, LOL. Black Klansman, Spike Lee. Black Panther.
Hey, Black Klansman's fucking amazing.
Yeah, Black Panther by Ryan Coogler.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Green Book.
Which one?
Which one? Yeah.
Which is wild.
Okay.
It's not a good year, but still, Green Book.
I will just say probably the one that I'll favor the most is one that I haven't even seen, and I just like Alfonso Cuarón a lot, and
Yeah.
Roma might be.
Roma's fucking awesome.
And then Spike Lee's directing, with the exception of Black Klansman and Do the Right Thing, is all over the place. But
Yeah,
I fucking
he's-
love Black Klansman. It's good.
I'm going to say Black Klansman is my pick for that
agree.
year. I think that movie is so important. It's
Vice
so
might
awesome.
be a close second, though.
Vice is
honestly.
great.
Yeah, Vice
is
fucking
fucking
rules.
phenomenal.
Sam Rockwell is George W. Bush.
I don't hate the Vice win as much, even though my biggest issue. I mean, a lot of those are very politically motivated films, but Vice seems like a little bit of just like a. I don't know.
It
Oscars
seems
doing Oscar
food for like privilege.
But with Green Book wins, not Vice.
Yeah, well, if Vice is just food for like angry liberals,
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, but also I have very conservative people in my life. Shout out to my boy Wesley Stapleton. He loves that movie.
Yeah.
He actually, that movie opened up his mind to a lot of the other aspects that go in
I think it really is important, and I was actually considering a Vice rewatch, but I think it's really important to point out.
You want to be bad?
We should be bad. And to point out that Dick Cheney's a fucking monster. And
Yeah.
I personally, I tend to vote very, very liberal. However, I think George W. Bush is a good guy. I know that's a controversial take.
No, I think he was just manipulated.
I do too, yeah.
But also, Christian Bale is absolutely out. Oh God, he's so fucking insane in that movie.
Yeah, he's
And
killer.
I don't know if you recently he did a GQ interview where he was going over, his most famous roles. Wow, amazing! It's 24 minutes. Listen to it. It's fucking insane.
Okay.
He really, what it really shows is the level that he knows his characters in such an intimate way. Because, and this is something that is always preached whenever you're doing acting, you're trying to do an acting lessons, is you can never villainize the character you're playing. You have to always see their perspective. And it's funny because when he talks about Dick Cheney, who is someone I know he doesn't really, he wouldn't say Dick Cheney's a good guy.
Yeah.
But he has kind of a respect for Dick Cheney. And he talks about how he sees Dick Cheney as one of the greatest political strategists to ever live.
Wow. See, yeah, Dick Cheney probably was really smart, and that's the dangerous part.
That's the dangerous part
yeah.
of it, is he's really smart, and he realized what's more important, title or power. I'm a guy who's never going to get the title, so let's go for that. But I have an opportunity.
He was behind
to
the
get the power.
scenes, and he was running the show. So
really interesting.
Anyways, what's your vote for 2018?
A Black Klansman.
Black Klansman, what's your vote?
I'm afraid to. I'm ashamed to say that the only two that I've seen of those nominations for that year are Black Panther and A Star Is Born.
That's
Okay.
rough, dude.
Well,
we
honestly,
got
when it came out,
that.
I did not hate A Star Is Born that much.
So,
Black Klansman, I think, is one of the best Marvel movies. I mean, Black Panther is one of the best Marvel.
I disagree with that. I don't even halfway agree with that.
I think it's far better than a lot of their
Can
movies.
we have a roast Marvel episode?
Yes.
Yeah, but the thing is, if we do a roast Marvel episode, I want to be fair and hand select the few that I think are not terrible.
Doctor Strange. Okay, we'll continue. So, I mean, I guess you'll go team. Stars Born.
Yeah. Out of the two that I've seen of that year, I'd have to say that.
This one's a lot harder for me. We're going back to 2017, the 90th Oscars. Number one.
What a good year for
it was
movies,
a great year.
man.
3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. The Post. Phantom Thread. A little Paul Thomas Anderson. Lady Bird. Greta Gerwig's directorial debut. Get Out. Jordan Peele. Dunkirk. Christopher Nolan. Darkest Hour. I forgot who off the top of my head. Call Me by Your Name and The Shape of Water. I will first off say that I prefaced maybe in the first episode that Call Me by Your Name is one of my favorite movies. I still stand by that. However, The Darkest Hour is so fucking amazing. It's a portrait about Winston Churchill, but Gary Oldman plays Winston Churchill.
It is amazing.
I have revisited that film a lot more than I would have thought that I would. And, historically, Winston Churchill is a piece of shit, but it's like a Vice, movie. You're like, wow, okay, he's like standing up to Adolf Hitler in this very what could have been detrimental to his country.
He was necessary for the, everyone. When you talk about World War II and the global nationalist movement that was happening, which is something Amsterdam touches in a light that's unique, which is the only reason I'm going to mention that film for a second time. But when you talk about the nationalist. Global nationalist movement that was happening in the world, that movie does a really good job of showing that like there is kind of like there's people that are necessary, right? And you can't really say that he was a bad leader, because if he wasn't the leader, they probably
England could have been
an Axis power before the U.S. even gets involved.
You can't say the man wasn't brave though, and the way that he handled things and his decisions that he had to make at Dunkirk, and. Yeah, it's just an incredible look into what was going on in that period. So, I want to say it's like a tie between Darkest Hour and Call Me by Your Name, even though I fucking love The Shape of Water as well.
I like The Shape of Water a lot.
So what do we vote?
Lady Bird.
Fuck.
Lady Bird is great.
Lady Bird is great, but it's just not.
I also really like 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
I mean, it's not a bad film either. But okay, that's fair. What do you got?
Get Out.
Get Out. Okay, that is completely.
Get Out is I watch it every year, and
I'm not really mad at either one of y'all for that.
Yeah, it's a good year for movies.
We're gonna get even better.
Yeah.
Soon. Do we have any concluding thoughts about 2017?
Good year for film.
You and I are gonna agree for the same film on the next one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
we are,
and I'm not.
But also the next one also has really good movies. I want to say Shape of Water is really fantastic, but it is not. I mean,
it's not the best on that list.
Well, it's also like it's maybe Del Toro's third best movie.
Yeah, I see. I loved it, and it really captivated me. That was probably the thing that got me into Del Toro. And there's nothing really wrong with the film. It's just not like the best that year.
No. It's very much this guy's best films were made when, he was making Spanish speaking films.
Yeah,
and he's become popular, and he's we have to right our wrongs as a system, right? It's very much. It reminds me of the Bond Parasite win a lot in the same way, where you're talking about a foreign director who has been neglected by the Academy, and now they make a film that is very good, but not their best work, but it's good enough to where we can all unite behind it. Yeah.
I don't know how in the hell we're gonna make it through 2016.
I did not like The Shape of Water.
Yeah, you're
wrong.
You're really wrong. It's such a captivating.
I can
movie.
Accept that
because
just take I watched it once and it was years ago, so I can hardly even remember it. So I should probably give it a rewatch.
You definitely should. It's a sentimental movie. It, to me, seems like something that would be up your alley.
We have some fucking incredible shit in 2016.
Yeah.
Number one, let me just preface by saying Manchester by the Sea is a phenomenal movie. I absolutely loved it. I don't know if you agree or not, but
I
haven't seen it.
I don't know.
It's probably the saddest movie I can think of.
I had a really weird experience watching that movie. I was told that it was really good. It's really sad. It's supposed to be like the most depressing movie ever made. And then I watched it and I was like, all right. And
anyways, I mean, it's not my favorite.
I laughed so much in that movie.
Yeah,
like the insults that Casey Affleck was throwing out at his son in that film were hilarious. I thought. I don't know, something was going on in my brain. Or I did not watch the same film that everyone else watched.
I do like just the New England feel to it. I don't know. Anyways, like it's not anything to just boast about. It is a wonderfully made film. Did y'all see Lion? I never saw Lion.
Nope, never saw Lion.
I hardly know.
I know what it's about. Yeah. I know what it's about, but
then we have the three. I mean, who doesn't like La La Land? There's actually quite a few people who don't like La La Land.
Yeah, but they're wrong.
Are you offering these to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Just list them for me real quick.
La La Land, Hidden Figures, Hell or High Water, which fucking slaps as well. Hacksaw Ridge, Fences, Arrival, and Moonlight.
Yeah.
Arrival.
Moonlight won.
Arrival's better.
But I'm gonna vote. It should have been La La Land.
I'm gonna go Arrival. Arrival's one of my all-time favorite movies. But once again, this is an awesome year, and I think La La Land and Moonlight.
How do you pick between them?
Are both awesome fucking movies. Yeah. La La Land, Save Jazz. It is goddamn. If you're talking about a movie that encapsulates like L.A. in a mythical format. The only other movie that I think is even comparable is
what?
God dang.
Umbrellas of Cherbourg?
No. But in Color Theory, that's the only movie that holds really fucks with La La Land in that very similar way. If you haven't seen Umbrellas of Cherbourg, but you love if you haven't seen Umbrellas of Cherbourg, but you love La La Land, go watch it. It is great.
It is a fun watch. I don't think any of us are mad at the Moonlight win that year, huh?
I mean, I think Moonlight's fucking amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, Arrival.
No, Arrival. See, that's the thing. Is Arrival's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Same.
It is a perfect 10 for me.
Should have won.
When I watched it, I couldn't sit down.
I honestly think Moonlight's a 10 too.
But I wouldn't disagree with you on that. I think Moonlight is an amazing, amazing movie.
It is,
and the way it explores sexuality and.
It is okay. Amazing. So there is quite a bit of debate which one is the best A24 movie between Moonlight, Hereditary, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I think Moonlight and Hereditary blow Everything Everywhere All at Once out of the fucking wazoo. So that's my controversial take. And Carter, we should have a better spar debate over.
We should do an A24 episode.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do that.
Okay. I think like if I had to say objectively, I think the best would be Hereditary. Yeah. Which it's an objective, I agree with you on subjective opinion.
Hereditary and Arrival are both 10.
That's not A24. Yeah.
Although,
Arrival. Yeah. Right. No, I'm getting this confused with what we're currently doing.
No.
Once again, I mean,
Hereditary's my favorite.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. Just maybe it was because of I needed the film when I saw it and I didn't know it at the time. But very sentimental film to me. So I mean, that's
And I'm the worst, and I'm going to be crucified by saying that it's kind of the most overrated thing that I've ever seen in my life. But
see, a lot of the times when I'm reacting to movies
suck
and
for that.
stuff, it's like I judge a movie that makes me feel will always be. I will always like love a movie that makes me feel more
Yeah.
than a movie that I think is objectively and technically great.
It's like Jonathan Tibbett. I love Tibbett,
Hi, Tibbet.
and I like talking to him about films and weird nerdy stuff. But his favorite movie is
Muppets Treasure Island.
yep,
What? Wait, what?
It is, yeah.
yeah, it's his favorite movie.
That goes hard.
Exactly.
That's
It-
so,
so-
metal.
But it has
It
such
is
it
pretty
has
metal.
it has a very strong sentimental, nostalgic feeling for him, and he's like he's just saying, look, I understand objectively it's not the best, but when you talk about my favorite,
Yeah,
there's not a
one
film
that he
that
can read.
makes me feel better than Muppets Treasure Island.
I fuck with that.
Yeah.
Shout out Jonathan. 2015, in my opinion, kind of shitty. We have Room by A24, The Revenant by Alejandro, The Martian, Mad Max Fury Road, Brooklyn. I don't even know what film that is. Bridge of Spies by Spielberg,
Yeah.
The Big Short, and Spotlight.
Okay, so here's
Spotlight won, by the way.
Yeah, and it should have. Spotlight's fucking phenomenal.
Spotlight is good, but
It's
I've
fucking phenomenal.
never felt the need to rewatch Spotlight.
I have seen it 3 or 4 times now.
I'm voting Room, actually.
That's
I think.
fucking insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
The Big Short's better.
I've
and
never
so is
seen The Big
Spotlight.
Short, and Mad Max I couldn't get into, honestly. So
It's the best Mad Max movie.
yeah, that doesn't mean anything to me.
It shouldn't.
And The Martian was fun when I watched it.
It's not a Best Picture winner.
Yeah, and then The Revenant did not age as well as I would have imagined it would.
The Revenant it was more of a hype film.
Yeah,
it's
and
good.
Room
It's
is
good.
definitely the most underrated on this list, I think, and I did have that emotional, visceral reaction to it. So.
Spotlight's a 10 for me, and is I cried and it hurt me and it made me angry against the system and religious patriarchy.
For me, that was like a Netflix watch late at night, and I was like, "Huh, that was good."
There's also one scene in it that is another scene that I revisit all the time, and it is. Like the scene, and it's so well shot, and it's just a slow pan out. Like it's nothing fucking wild, But it starts off, and they're just super in close on this telephone, and it goes out because it's on speaker, right? And it's going out as the conversation's going on, because what it is they saw the issue as 8 priests in Boston.
Yeah,
And this is the scene when they realize
that it's everywhere.
that the issue is based on the research of this guy we're talking about, who's a real person.
Yeah.
It's all based on real events. There's a real person who was hired by the Catholic Church to investigate the molestation scandal in the 80s.
Yeah.
And the moment he put out the numbers that he thought were legit and showed it to a bishop, he got excommunicated and was considered a heretic and was never allowed to attend another Catholic church.
And I'm not mad
What
that it
movie
won
was that?
Spotlight.
Spotlight.
Okay,
And it's got a pretty good cast as well.
He's amazing cast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Dude, it's
Haven't seen
so
it.
fucking amazing. And it's going wider and wider because they're realizing the scope is bigger. And then they're told, well, based on my numbers, it would be closer to 90. And they say, 90 priests nationwide? And he goes, no, 90 in Boston.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And
Yeah. That was pretty crazy. I do
I
remember
get
that.
literally get chills thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's really well shot, and it's there's also something very personal to me about people using religious power for that type of self gain, and because it's so
Right.
fucking evil, and that movie hits on the emotions that on such an intimate way. I think it's very deserving of a Best Picture nom. I think it's
Yeah,
amazing.
I'm not mad at it. What would be your pick?
Well, I didn't love any of them. I haven't seen all of them, but I didn't love the ones that I have seen.
Yeah, I would agree.
100%. So I think I'm just gonna have to.
You're gonna have
Pick-
to pass.
No. I'm gonna have to pick the one that I just enjoyed the cinematography the best, which I'm sure.
The Revenant?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lubeski, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cole, I think we're all three going to agree on this one, possibly, unless you choose Boyhood.
I'm going to choose Boyhood.
Okay. Well, then Cole, you and I.
And
are
it's
going
not
to
even
agree.
close.
I'm trying to think which one it is.
Okay, so 2014, number 1, Whiplash, Damien Chazelle. Number 2, The Theory of Everything. Number 3, Selma. Number 4, The Imitation Game. Number 5, The Grand Budapest Hotel by Wes Anderson. Number 6, Boyhood by Richard Linklater. Fuck American Sniper. I won't even start that. Birdman or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. So real quick for me,
There's some wait. There's just there. That's a good list.
it is a banger list. For me, it's Boyhood number 1, Birdman number 2. Maybe honestly, and yeah, I know you guys are Chazelle bros. I love
I'm
Whiplash.
Gonna slap you with.
I do love Whiplash, but I can't even discount the Grand Budapest Hotel as Wes Anderson's best movie.
It's not his best movie, but
So Whiplash might be number 4 for me.
So Whiplash is me and Carter's number 1.
Yeah.
It's an absolute 10. I called
That blows
Carter
everything out of the
watching
water
it.
for me.
I called Carter after watching it and like was fucking shaking.
Have you guys seen Birdman?
Yes, Birdman's
Yeah.
great.
Have you seen you haven't seen Boyhood?
I
No, not yet.
haven't seen Boyhood.
Okay.
I've seen American
Grand
Sniper.
Budapest?
Sadly,
Yeah, I'm once again not a big Wes Anderson fan.
I'm a
I get
huge Wes
I'm not
bored.
either,
I get
man.
bored in all of his movies.
I
agree.
I'm a huge Wes Anderson fan, and I'm absolutely captivated by his weirdness.
Grand Budapest is my favorite.
I think
Heartbeat.
it's my second favorite.
What's your first?
Rushmore is hands down. my
Rushmore.
favorite.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Rushmore's also an hour and 20 runtime, which is a lot more forgiving for a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah.
And is it's also about a theater kid. So I just
Okay, so it
thought
strikes
that-
home.
But yeah, my pick for that year is hands down Whiplash.
I don't think the theory of everything was bad.
No,
but
it's very good.
Yeah.
It's very good. That's a very good movie.
Selma is not good. I apologize.
Yeah, it's not as
It's just not good, in my opinion. Imitation Game I never saw. Like I said, I think we're all on the fuck American Sniper train.
yeah, fuck.
It's
So
been
what do you
far too long since I've seen that to be
Yeah.
able to even remotely judge
comment
it.
on it?
I don't really care for her at all.
Okay, well you just
who?
provided
Care for who?
Fucking it's the same bitch who did the
Catherine Bigelow.
Yeah, Catherine Bigelow.
Did she do American Sniper?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't care for her either.
Yeah.
I don't even know. who
You
that
said I don't care for her, and that brings us to the
Yeah,
to
but
2013.
I just want to talk
baby.
about Catherine Bigelow is like, I just don't think she's that great of a filmmaker. I don't even
I don't
think
either.
American Sniper's that terrible of a story to try to encapsulate in some way.
Republicans ruined it.
Yeah, I just think she does a really bad. And like I'm sitting here saying this, and I'm like fucking just talked about how much I love Vice. So like, and maybe inherent bias is part of it. Because I don't think American Sniper is a terrible story to tell. And there's one scene in that movie that I really fuck with. But my issue is a lot of that movie doesn't play around with the double-edged sword as much as it should.
Yeah.
And also it's just like I don't think from a filmmaking perspective it's as
I don't think
heralded.
it's anything to bat an eyelash at.
Yeah.
But we are coming up to 2013, and I think maybe in an hour time we can finish it to like 2010.
Yeah, we'll get to 2010.
Okay.
James and I are going to agree on this.
Yes, we are. Number 1, 12 Years a Slave, which is the winner. Number 2, American Hustle. Number 3, Captain Phillips. Number 4, Dallas Buyers Club. Number 5, Gravity. Number 6, Her. Number 7, Nebraska. Number 8, Philomena. And number 9, Wolf of Wall Street. It's pretty evident what my favorite is. Her blows them all out of the water.
Her's the winner.
Except
I really like I do like Dallas Buyers Club. I'll say it.
I'm gonna also just be toxic for a second and say that Wolf of Wall Street is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It's objectively really good.
Filmmaking, acting. I mean, who gives a shit
Tony
about the
Hill's so fucking
weird, the toxic males who took that the wrong way?
Yeah.
It's a critique about Jordan Belfort. It's not a fucking glorification.
That is the thing. That's one of those movies that has become so warped by a sect of its audience. Because if you watch that movie and what you get out of it is like something that
I want to be like Jordan Belfort.
I want to be like Jordan Belfort and Matthew McConaughey.
Get your shit rocked and your whole entire world fall apart.
And these toxic, hypermasculine males that the movie represents.
Yeah,
that's not the point of all. The point is that you should, that's not a good way to live your life. You should try to find more
and
meaning in life than
Scorsese
that.
and his kind of toxic males that he portrays was the perfect person to direct it. But
no
also,
one could have done as good as
the
he did.
story itself is worthy of being made into a film.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and like I said, just
It's very good. American Hustle's also great.
those large
Very fun movie.
office scenes shows how much of a master director Scorsese is, and some of the panning work throughout the offices, and DiCaprio as well. That dude is
Yeah.
goated in that movie.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill, fuck yeah.
I want to say DiCaprio should have won the Oscar for The Wolf of Wall Street, not The Revenant. The only reason
Yes,
he won the
yeah.
Oscar for The
is
Revenant
because he
was
did.
They
because
realized
of
they
the-
fucked up.
was because of the method acting buzz around it. That's the only reason
Yeah.
he won.
Yeah,
Yeah. Also, it's another one of those, hey, we really fucked over this guy for so long. This movie has a lot of buzz.
Yeah.
Here you go.
and I gotta just say, her did win the Academy Award for Best Screenplay, which I would have fucking rioted if it wasn't the case. But I do think her is the best movie on this list. But
I agree.
okay,
Wait, on the 2013 list?
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
We're kind of getting into the wiener movies. So 2012, we have Zero Dark 30, another Catherine Bigelow's Silver Linings Playbook, Les Miserables, Lincoln by Spielberg, Life of Pi, Django Unchained by Tarantino, Beast of the Southern Wild, Amour, and Argo. Argo would win. My vote is, I don't really like any of these, to be honest with you.
But my vote actually. Hey, I'm so wrong. American Sniper is a Clint Eastwood movie.
Ah, okay. Well,
yeah.
I don't like Clint Eastwood's directing, I'll be honest with you.
Same.
But
Yeah, I get bogged down in his movies, but
Like-
I think I have some similar problems with
He's not good.
him as. Actually, do you know what is my favorite movie that he's directed?
$1 Million Baby.
Jersey Boys.
Oh, that's the one I haven't seen.
But it's also because I think I kind of like it when he doesn't. He takes it. His movies he takes himself a little too seriously sometimes. I don't
He does, and which makes it more obscene. And to say
I
that-
just randomly threw a bunch of Kathleen Bigelow hate out there. Then
well, I mean,
we're getting to
I'm
zero.
not a fan
We're
either.
getting to Zero Dark 30.
But
so.
I haven't seen all of these, and I really fucking kind of hate Quentin Tarantino, but I think Django might be the best movie on this list.
Oh yeah, it is Django.
Yeah, Argo, Ben Affleck could go to fuck himself.
Actually, my favorite. You know what my favorite thing about Argo is?
Huh.
Is that he directed that movie, and there is a scene of his abs that affects the story. No, it's literally him putting on a shirt, and
Oh, wow.
it's a cut to him in a room by himself, and you can see these crazy washboard abs. And then he buttons up his shirt, and it's the only time you see him shirtless in the movie. And I just think it's so fucking
what
funny.
a flex.
I think it's honestly, I kind of respect him.
I would do that
just for
too if I had
Lincoln
his
kind of
body.
sucked, right? Maybe a little bit. Is that fair? Oh my god. This is. Did Lincoln suck, or was that just me? Maybe I was fucking like I was
I
like
think suck's an overstatement.
I was gonna say like I
The
was
pacing-
15 when this came out.
Yeah, I mean the pacing for a 15-year-old is rough.
Yeah, maybe I'll give it a watch. I'm sorry, Spielberg. You don't really deserve that, but
it
it kind of sucked.
It doesn't suck. It doesn't suck. The pacing is very slow, and I definitely when I first watched it as a young man, it was way too slow for me.
What's your favorite on this list?
Django, without a doubt.
What's your favorite?
That's my favorite Tarantino movie.
Django on this list. I
Okay.
will say, I do not really like Django Unchained that much.
I don't either.
Because I do not like Tarantino.
Yeah,
Death
I
Proof
agree.
is
This
his
is-
best movie.
this is
However,
where-
on that list, Django is the winner.
Yeah,
It's
I
a-
know.
it's
This
not
is just a
good
shitty list.
Well, can I give Django its flowers real quick then?
No.
No, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Django is one of my favorite westerns like ever made. But also like I have a lot of issues with westerns in general. I think Django does a good job of being a western cowboy boom 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 story,
Yeah.
but also being very like a real depiction of the West that doesn't glorify whiteness in a weird way. And also Leonardo DiCaprio is fucking terrifying.
Quentin Tarantino's obsessed with saying racial slurs. I'll say it. So,
That
anyways,
that movie I
Doesn't
think
he casts himself to say them.
he does. He's
Which-
fucking. He's oh god. He's fucking overrated, and just his movies do not age at all to me.
Nope.
I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
like going off on this motherfucker, but he's
Well.
kind of the worst human, and also he hates literally everything fun. So he's like Carter on steroids.
No. I agree. Him as a person is not something that I'm really into. But also, we do talk about separating the artist from the art, and he has a few films that
And
I
I
think
can.
are really good.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is good.
What's Upon Hollywood
Death Proof
is good. Death Proof's not good. Django is good.
Django is all right.
Django's very good.
Yeah.
Django is very good.
Okay, all right. We have 6 minutes to discuss 2011, 2010.
2011, The Tree of Life wins. Moving on. There we go.
No, I absolutely agree with this because this is like a not even close
I haven't
statement.
seen Tree of Life, so give me the list.
Yeah, it's not
2011, War Horse, another Spielbussy movie. The Tree of Life, Terrence Malick, shout out. Moneyball, Midnight in Paris, fuck Woody Allen. I heard that movie's good though. Hugo, Martin Scorsese. The Help, Extremely Loud, Incredibly Close. I did not even make it through that movie. The Descendants, and The Artist, which won.
Okay, so
I don't even need to even argue this because Tree of Life.
I haven't seen Tree of Life, but
Cole talk.
Here's my thing. First of all, I actually really love Moneyball. That's a movie I rewatch on a regular basis. It's just a very interesting. It's a good sports flick. Jonah Hill is the reason you watch it. He's top notch in it, and I love him as an actor. But my favorite movie, considering I haven't seen Tree of Life. When you said it, I was like, oh yeah, that's obviously it. Can you read them to me again?
War Horse, Tree of Life, Moneyball, Midnight in Paris.
Midnight in Paris is a movie I watch every year.
Yeah, no, I know it's supposed to be wonderful. It's Woody Allen's best, right?
Yeah, not even remotely close. It is his best film.
I am of the belief that it's possible that The Tree of Life might be the greatest film ever made.
Yeah, I just haven't seen it. I wish I could give you.
I agree.
Can I give my little spiel about Midnight in Paris? Because it really is actually a movie that's special to me. I wish he wasn't attached to it. Like, it hurts me that he's attached to it. Yeah. But first of all, my grandfather, who's a cinephile, and I bring him up a lot because a lot of my exposure comes from him, fucking hates Woody Allen. And so when he told me, you need to watch Midnight in Paris, and it wasn't you need to watch it, it's I need you to come over this weekend so I can show you Midnight in Paris. It touches on something that's really important to me because it is a celebration of artists, and particularly, this wave in late Victorian area of France, and stemming from the 1880s to the 1920s, all how special Paris was as an artistic hub, and you get to see some amazing performances of some of my favorite artists to ever live, like Salvador Dali, Ernest Hemingway, Pablo Picasso, and Henri Lautrec, and
I need to watch it. I really do need to watch it. I mean, Deli has talked about it quite a bit.
It's a delightful movie,
and I could definitely separate the art from the artist. Yeah. I mean, I have a lot.
Like when you go in, just forget that a piece of shit made it.
Well, yeah. I mean, because honestly, I love a lot of Polanski movies as well.
Yeah, no, he's really good. He just is terrible.
It sucks. It sucks that I like him so much.
Also, I think Hitchcock is one of the greatest filmmakers to ever live. That's not a crazy statement to say. Objectively, he's amazing. He's did
also
so
kind
much.
of a piece of shit.
Kind of a piece of shit. A little bit.
I think Woody Allen's the worst on that list. I mean, like
that's
like he's even worse than Polanski.
Yeah, dude. It's
but
fucking gross.
With the last one that we're gonna talk about today, is the year 2010, and we have Winter's Bone, True Grit by Joel and Ethan Coen, Toy Story 3, which made it in there, which is kind of phenomenal.
That is insane.
The Social Network, The Kids Are All Right, Inception, The Fighter,
like.
Which one?
Inception.
Okay, all right. Hot take. Black Swan, 127 Hours, and The King's Speech. And I'm gonna say I'm not even mad at The King's Speech winning because that movie fucking rules.
There's 3 great movies in that.
But yeah, for shits and giggles, I'll say with The King's Speech being worthy. Obviously, The Social Network, one of the best. Inception. Chris, it's easy to shit on Christopher Nolan a whole lot. But I fucking liked it. And am I reading this right in 2014 that there was no Interstellar nomination?
Yep.
What
the only Academy Award that it got was for visual effects.
That is booty cheeks.
Yeah, it's insane.
Fuck that, dude. That's horrible. I like Black Swan.
I love Black Swan.
Yeah, I like Black Swan.
I fucking love Black Swan.
I mean, next to The King's Speech and Social Network, probably couldn't. Hold up,
that's my thing is those 3 films I think are actually all worthy. When we compare it to these other films that have won Best Picture, those are all 3 I think worthy.
I agree.
Films.
I wouldn't say Inception's worthy of Best Picture.
No.
I like Inception.
I'm not talking. I'm saying Black Swan.
Yeah.
Social Network and King's Speech. That being said, King's Speech is probably my least favorite out of those 3.
True Grit also slaps.
True Grit also slaps.
Yeah, that's really
I
good.
fucking love True Grit.
But I think Social Network probably should have won. It does something pretty special.
Yeah, I agree.
That being said, I really fucking love Black Swan.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it.
That movie, I don't know if I can ever rewatch it.
Why?
His movies give me panic attacks. Requiem for a Dream, I actually had to turn off because
dude, I've never made it through Requiem for a Dream.
I legitimately had a full-blown panic attack in the middle of Requiem for a Dream. I mean,
the last 20 minutes are traumatizing.
I mean, I had to go into a bathtub and I went into my shower, cold water, like freaking out. Requiem for a Dream fucked me up terrible. I was also high as fuck, but
I think that's a good place to stop since when we went through 11 years.
Yeah.
And I do think we should pick it up again for 2010 and 2000.
I think we should. And
I like the faster pace one.
Yeah, I also think that wasn't as
bad as you thought it was.
I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
There's a lot of those years.
Once we get into the 70s, I'll start arguing a little bit more. But.
Yeah, but I think. Yeah, man.
I just didn't even think Interstellar. I thought Interstellar was nominated.
Yeah,
that's bullshit.
No.
That's what I'm mad about.
That is bullshit. Also, wait, I gotta say, Inception fucking blows, man.
That's not true.
I loved it. I loved it when I was 12
Carter
years
and I are
old.
agreeing about Christopher Nolan. What is this?
When I was 12 years old,
We
and my
agree
dad.
about Interstellar too.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I think Interstellar's his best movie for sure.
It is,
I think we all
but Inception is good.
When I saw Inception when I was 12, I thought it was really cool. I rewatched it since then. Was like, this
still is really cool.
pretty much a fucking Marvel movie. It's
How the fuck does
Whoa.
pretty much a Marvel movie? It's
you
terrible.
just insulted. Oh my god.
How does anybody make a movie like Inception that's not Christopher Nolan? Nobody can do that.
Yeah.
Nobody on planet Earth.
Yeah, no one should.
Whoa.
That movie is literally ass. It is a terrible. It's just a normal action flick, and everyone acts like it's this fucking insane. It's not even that hard to follow. The movie's just ass.
Okay, but tell me why.
Wow.
I watch it. The performances aren't inspired. Okay. It is nothing special with its plot.
Play that. Wah.
I'm sorry. I'll play it for you. I'll play it for you.
That might be the hottest take that we've had on this podcast
I've
so
just
far.
literally the last time I rewatched it because I have it on DVD, and I was like, okay, you know what, Inception, badass, let's watch it. And I was incredibly disappointed.
You like it enough to own it though.
No, well, to be fair, a lot of my DVDs are my dad's old DVDs for when he got them into Blu-ray.
That's what I would say.
I'm
too.
proud to own my Inception Blu-ray, so fuck you, Cole.
I think I gave it mine away.
I've done that before with movies that I was like, ooh, this didn't age well.
Yeah,
also known as all of my Tarantino movies. Oops.
Yeah, I mean, Tarantino has films that are significantly better than Inception.
Wrong.
I actually do. That's wrong.
Yeah. Inception's not good, guys.
Look at us. We're ganging up on Cole.
I know.
Yeah, what is that?
This has never happened. When is the last time y'all watched it?
Maybe like 2 or 3 years ago,
Yeah,
and I still fucking liked it,
Same for me.
actually.
You should watch it again.
I'll watch it and still like it.
You should watch it again. It's
Okay.
just bad. I'd like to watch it with y'all. I think it's comically bad. Wow.
Okay,
No,
well,
not
Cole and I are... we're going to go...
Wait, not comically bad. Comically
Do
bad
you
is an
think it's worse
overstatement.
than Thor: Love and Thunder?
No. I mean, I don't think...
Is
Took
there
you a second
anything worse
there.
than Thor: Love and Thunder?
I mean, like, let's be
No.
fair. I think if I was going to rewatch one, I'd maybe rewatch
Don't
Thor:
say.
Love and Thunder.
Are you
Oh.
kidding me, dude?
I'd rewatch it while, like, playing video
All
games.
right. We're gonna have to take a hiatus for this next episode.
Maybe
should we roast the Marvel episode? I don't know which one we're gonna go first. I want to fucking let it.
We're gonna let that fly, and we're gonna do some more Oscar stuff. We got a bunch of stuff coming out, guys. So be looking
Okay,
out.
we're gonna shank Cole in the parking lot.
I
for that
guess
hot
so.
Take. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being that wrong. But
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I just think everyone else is blinded by that movie because there's a weird memory dream thing going on.
Dude, I don't like Christopher Nolan, but I can acknowledge that that's his second best movie.
It's not. The Prestige is his second best movie.
I agree with that. I agree with that one.
I don't think Inception is that much better than fucking Tenet.
Oh.
I don't think it's that much better.
Wow.
I think they're in the same ballpark.
All right.
Oh man.
Well, on that note,
I guess we're ending dark today.
Yeah. It's a pleasure talking with you guys. Thank you for, if you made it this far, we're going to give you a hug and a smooch on the forehead. I hate coal.